A war of no weaponry is what I wage. A door with no lock or key is the first page to my humble story, which will enrage the leaders of history, the priest and the sage, because I'm not like them. I'm not screaming my pain from rooftops and parliaments. I'm not preaching for fame. I want you to understand where I came from. In the hierarchy of modern day, I am the working class girl with a bit too much to say. My East London showed me colour, so I refused to live in 50 Shades of Grey. But I was told to grow up. If I had nothing nice to say, don't say it at all, at all. We're told that since we're small, as if to make us feel smaller, mere specks of dust in the taller people's eyes. I was a troublemaker. And since these black eyes are unable to tick conventional boxes of beauty, I had to adopt alternative methods, had to lock myself up because I was too free. I became someone I couldn't be. This world began to judge me on the basis of the size of my home. How many bedrooms do you own? Only 2. What a shame. What's the name of your road? The specific details of my postcode until where I came from became my vice. I would go over a sentence twice in my head before saying it to make sure I pronounced my T's. I had to disguise my soul into not being from the East End but into being pristine. And all the while, beneath the coffee of my skin, the hot water of my Cockney accent was simmering, but I couldn't let it boil, could I? Blow my cover, else I'd be known as nothing other than temper or feisty cow. So in this oppression, I grew tall. If I had nothing nice to say, I was not to say it at all, at all. But around me, the world was blooming like the innards of a flame. The heat of the injustice was driving me insane. 2011 saw riots in my hometown so dark, and from then on, down tumbling came my facade as I'd sit on the floor of my room, spilling heart and soul and body and bone into colourful adverbs and glittering nouns. Poetry was and is the only way out of the static and into the night. My pen would dance and I would write. So as my war of no weaponry, war of words was pursued, the war outside raged on as wars tend to. As Mother Nature was cutting curves of adolescence into my waist, I was watching father conflict cut down bodies in wars of waste, and I couldn't help but regard it with a sour distaste for the vibe it created. The tense, judgmental gaze upon my generation, the people of my age, us innocents of the East End, struggling to keep up with the pace of the tabloids. Apparently, we all carried knives, not bags, dropped bombs, not parcels, shot guns, not arrows of love. We were dizzy rascals. And at that point, in a moment of reverence, I reversed back to my childhood and I made reference to what I had always been told. If I ever spoke like the media did, guess what? If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all, at all. Hear that? The hypocrisy of it was so vile and so sure. So I grabbed a pen. It threw itself at me. It said, if you have anything to say it with poetry. So here I stand. In front of you today, I do have something nice and something important to say. My generation isn't one of decay. My city isn't full of thugs. You can walk through my London town at night. We're not planning on getting you mugged. My accent isn't common, and if it is, then let it be commonly known that I was born and bred into diversity, and the way you think and what you speak is beautiful and wholesome. It itself is poetry. So if you have something to say, it really doesn't matter what accent it's in. You must say it at all costs. It's poetry itching from within. Don't let this world tell you, like it tried to tell me, to say nothing at all, at all. Your pen, the only weapon of truth, will always stand strong and tall. Thank you so much.